Hey everyone, it's Chris from Stamp Blessings, and I'm here for my second Wednesday workshop. So I'm so glad you could come and join me. And well, 2 in a row, so let's keep this record going. In case you didn't know, today is January 29th when I'm filming this, and Stampin' Up! Has its celebration going on, and we have it going on for 1 more month. So if you haven't had a chance to take advantage of some of these free sets, go ahead and check it out. And if you need any questions answered, let me know. I'll be working on a card today called, from the stamp set, Delightful Wishes, which is in Stampin' Up's new mini catalog, that January-April one. And this catalog is beautiful, so if you don't have a copy, let me know. I have a couple of extras. And thanks to everybody who waited for their copy. Then I'm also going to be using this Elements of Text, and you won't find this in the mini catalog. This is one of the online only specials. So make sure you check out online too, because there are so many great items that you might be missing out on. So like I said, we're going to make this card today, and it's something that I made at my open house. So I had not used this bigger flower image until this card, and I really liked it. This is based off of another card similar that I had seen another demo post, but up until now I've been really using these. I think they look like forsythias. You might have heard me mention that, but I really wanted to try out these 2 little flowers too, and they're a 2-step stamp, so I'm going to show you a little tip on how to best do that. So let's go ahead and get started. So my open house was right after the snow came, so I made quite a few card kits, so I'm actually all ready to go. Everything is in here that I needed. That means I've already die cut my little flower pieces and the 2 leaf pieces. Get them off to the side. I have my card base, and that card base actually measures, let's check it out real quick. Ooh, these are in centimeters somehow. Well, I'll have to get the list of it. I have somehow a centimeter measurement on my Stampin' Up! Pad. I don't know if I ordered the wrong one or if that's how they come. Anyway, so let's go with centimeters. It's 9 centimeters by 12 centimeters for that inside panel. Then with my Mossy Meadows, I have 9.5 centimeters by 12.5 centimeters. So obviously you're just going to be layering those. And then my Crumb Cake is just an A2, so that's, I know, 4.25 by 5.5. Now, I tend to cut my paper like this. It's just how I'm used to doing it, but you could, of course, take a sheet and fold it in half and then decorate the inside. But let's go ahead and prepare this card base. Oh, and then I also did a sentiment piece cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I want to just take a piece of scratch paper to stamp off on. Now, the Elements of Text is a red rubber ink, red rubber stamp from Stampin' Up. Some of them that are more detailed, they do those in red rubber. So I'm just going to ink it up, and then I want to stamp it off a little bit lightly so that I don't have that full ink color. Just press down and then do that 1 more time. So easy, but it gives it a nice little effect. And there you go. Can you see that? It's not as dark as having it, you know, full tone. So I like that. All right, so now I can put this panel aside and we'll later get ready to build that. So for the wishing, I could pre-cut that paper and try and stamp it on here, but I find that that's a little bit tricky. So if I were to pre-cut that, it's just too hard to line up my sentiment. So let me go ahead and stamp it on this scratch paper. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and line up my die. And I'm just going to show you, I use a little washi tape. And I learned, and I know always they tell you, go ahead and put your die cuts in at an angle, and I'm telling you, it made such a huge difference. So I want to line it up just right. And then I'm going to just put a little piece of washi tape on there to hold it, okay? And so I'm going to put it through, and that sandwich will feed right through, and voila, I have it now cut out, okay? So now we've got the base stamped, and we've got the wishing. Let's get to these flowers, because they are a little bit tricky. I found that when I stamped those directly to paper and then tried to cut them out, I had a hard time lining them up. So what I did was I looked at this shape, and then I took my stamp and I found, see how that protrudes a little bit? I found on my stamp where that protrudes, and that is how I'm going to line it up. And I find by doing the solid color first, I'm more likely to get it, you know, in the right place. So for this, we're going to use Lemon Lolly. And I'm just going to ink it up and come in there. And if you don't get it quite perfect, don't worry, because this is all getting layered, and it's going to have a second layer going on top, and it's really pretty easy. So there again, I almost missed my little point, and now I just did that. And so look, I kind of didn't do so great. I'll go ahead and just add a little bit ink in that corner where I missed it and come out a little bit and fill that up. But again, like I told you, don't worry about it too much, because maybe that'll be the one that goes under or whatever. So for my second layer, I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight. And again, I look at my stamp, and I have to find where that long piece protrudes. And in this case, it's right here. Let's see if you could see that. Not really, but a little bit. Well, let's see what happens when I ink it up. So I've got my Daffodil Delight, and I find that that is the longer piece. And I'm going to come in and just kind of go down on that. And do it one more time. So this one came out perfect, this one, And when it's all done, we probably won't even be able to tell the difference. All right, so there you go. So they both look good. So we're done with the yellow. Now we just need some more of the Mossy Meadow. And I've got these two. These are very easy to ink up. And I almost forgot, my flowers are not quite done. So you can see that they have a little bit of a center image. Well, one of the stamp sets included are these little, the little centers of the flowers, but there's 3 of them together. So you could use it as a background stamp. I'm going to just ink up the first one. Just try to get ink on that little bit with the crumb, and I'm going to clean with my finger the other 2 that got some, and then I'm just going to kind of come in down the middle. That gives it just a little bit more interest. So here's one without and one with that crumb in there. Let's go ahead and do that second one. Again, I ink it up and then just clean off the other 2. And I come down. And now the last thing we have to do, since I've pre-cut everything, is stamp my sentiment. And for this sentiment, it is a happy birthday, because I don't know about you, but I always need birthday cards and thank you cards. I inked it up. I'm going to come right down. And perfect. Great. So let me close up my ink pads, and now we are ready to assemble. That's how quick this card goes, especially if you have papers pre-cut. And I'm going to leave the dimensions below in my in my write-up, so that if you wanted to come back and see what those sizes are. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue real quick because I find it's a little bit more forgiving. You don't want to use too much because otherwise I also find that my paper will really warp. So the key is use a little bit, but not too much. And here it even kind of sloshed out from the side, but that should dry clear. All right. Go ahead and put that down. And now we're going to just go ahead and assemble. So to get it all organized, I like to do a dry lay first. So I'm going to put where I want my wishing. And I think my happy birthday will come here. And now I have these two flowers. One is going to get tucked. Oh, remember, one didn't come out that great, so I'm going to tuck the uglier one below. And then this one here, and I'll be able to just put in my leaves. Sometimes I like to use tweezers for that, to go ahead and place them, because then I can just put a little bit glue in the center, and I can tuck it in. I can move things around. By just putting glue in the center of these flowers also, then I can tuck in the leaves where I want them. So I want that little bit of a center to show. All right. So what color would you stamp these flowers in? Right now I stuck with yellow, but what other color would you like to see them stamped in? Be sure to let me know. And if you've gotten this bundle, what is your favorite flower in it? Do you like those forsythias, or are you loving these little flowers here? All right, now we're going to just get that wishing done and put just a little bit of glue. Sometimes when I'm gluing really thin areas, I'll just show you what I like to do. This one isn't too bad. But what I might do is put a little glue on a scratch piece of paper, and then with my tweezers just kind of come in and dab it on. And that way it's not bad. So I'm going to get this wishing kind of centered. Make sure that it's straight. And then for the happy birthday, let's go ahead and pop that up with some dimensionals. Gonna do that. If you're watching this video, I would love it if you'd leave me a comment. I don't do a lot of shout outs, just because I'm too focused on trying to get everything straight and in the right place. But I will come back and answer your comments or your questions. All right, and we're gonna just put that right there. So perfect. And then just to finish off the card, I just take my card base, score it, and you could also buy the value cards and envelopes. That's always a good way that you just get it done quickly. And then I'm going to glue that on. I have to go back and trim it just a snitch right here. But you know what? I'm going to stamp my envelope while we're at it. I don't usually do that, but why not? Because I've got everything out right now. And that way I can show you that it is a little bit trickier to line up those stamps on just a regular piece. So yeah, by just folding a piece of cardstock in half, it's a little bit messier. But we're going to put that aside to dry. And here's my envelope, and I think I'll just leave a little flower in the front. So I'm going to ink it up again. And then give it a little extra. So this time I have to really look, where is that, and I'm going to come in. It's a little bit trickier, but oh, not bad. And in this case, I'm not going to go for a leaf. I think I'm going to use those two little those little 3 dots that I told you about, and put them on there for some extra interest. So there you have it. We just created a beautiful, clean and simple card. It does have some layers, but using Stampin' Up's new Delightful Wishes bundle and the elements of text. Well, thanks for tuning in to this week's Workshop Wednesday, and I'll see you next week when I have my new card kit for February, and I can't wait to share it with you because it is beautiful. Have a great weekend. Bye.